Hey, welcome back to my channel, guys. It is a beautiful day for yard selling today in Alabama anyway, and it's not too oppressively hot, so that's a good thing. I have got a few yard sales on my agenda and then a vintage collectible estate sale. So we might check that out if we don't, totally spend all of our money at yard sales. So let's hit the road. Okay, first thing my eyes set upon are this gorgeous pair of Sorel boots, and I want to say she charged me like $3. It might have been $5, but it was not any more than that. I was hoping that these tennis shoes were going to turn out to be Merrell's. No such luck. And then these boots were nothing special, and when I picked them up to feel them, they didn't feel like a real quality material, so I left them behind. And I grabbed these, my second pair of Teos in 2 weeks. Score.
Good morning.
These white boots were really, really nice, but they were unbranded and they were a teeny tiny size. I want to say they were either a 4.5 or a 5. Okay, I like selling the Nike Dry Fit, and I did find a comp for this shirt for $17.99. I have a feeling it's a bit of an outlier. I only paid $2 for the shirt, and these things do tend to move fast, but I think it's probably going to sell closer to the $10 to $12 mark. Saw this track phone sitting there, and when I pulled it out of the box and looked at it, initially I thought it was a brand new phone because all of the plastic and everything is still in place. However, when I got it home, it was missing a charging cord, which is not really the end of the world. It'll still sell probably around $20, but it would have gone closer to $30 if the charging cord had been there.
Good morning.
This estate sale looked really promising, had a lot of vintage Christmas, and just a lot of collectibles in general, but none of it was really my vibe. And so I did end up only picking one piece up here and then making my way to the second estate sale. Okay, this is only the basement. Like, there was so much stuff. It was just overwhelming. And I really went because they had this vintage mummy game, but it was long gone by the time I got there. And so I saw right away that that was gone. A lot of the vintage games and toys were in such poor condition that I wasn't really willing to fool with them. There were a couple of Hummels over here, but the one that really caught my eye was not this one, but it was the lighthouse to the left, because it was a light up lighthouse and it came with a figurine as well. And when I looked up the comps looked to be right around the $50 mark, free ship. So for $15, I thought it was worth picking up. Especially because I do love Hummels. I thought about keeping it, but I really think that I'm going to list this one.
Dang it.
Okay, so this is the second estate sale, and she had a ton of really nice purses. They were marked so high. I'm talking run-of-the-mill Michael Kors were at $75, which is insane to me because none of them were new with tags. They were all pre-owned. This coach that I picked up was in terrible condition in terms of dirt. It was absolutely filthy, but because it wasn't priced, it was only $10. And so I do end up scooping up this coach because I figured I could get it clean. Close on that. Okay, I was immediately interested in this Jingle Bell Rock Santa. He didn't have a price on him. I've sold him before. Now, he did not have his box, so that, of course, lowers the value a little bit. But I still put him in my bag. But then the guy wanted $30 for him, and I could maybe sell him on eBay without his box for $30. So I ended up leaving him behind. Okay, y'all know me, and I am not shy with digging through bins. Right away, I found these cute little vintage Tommy Hilfiger pajama pants. So I threw those in the bag. She was only charging $2 for clothing items that were not marked. I continued to dig through this bin and was about to give up when at the bottom of the bin, I saw leather. There it is. Right there. Now this thing was wrinkled as can be, but beautiful on the inside. This is a Marc Jacobs vintage totally turn lock purse, and they can retail really, or rather they can resell really high. So I scooped that up and she only charged me $10. And hanging out in the back of a random closet, I found these really cute piccolinos. I love piccolinos. They are such a well-made shoe, and the stacked heel only really sweetened the deal, so I threw those in there. Now, she ended up charging me $10 for them, but I did take them home regardless.
What's on your do list? Sofas? Sitting and relaxing. That's on mine. Hey guys, welcome back to the haul. Please excuse the shambles that is the eBay room, but I typically film in my guest room, and we have a guest this weekend, so I can't get in there. And what can I say? I have been back at school for the last 2 weeks, and so this is the reality of it. I don't get to things as quickly as I would like, and so it just becomes this pigsty, but it is what it is. All right, guys, so in total, I went to 1 yard sale or maybe 2 yard sales and then an estate sale. I went to way more, but these are the only ones worth noting. And I think it was, I think it was 1 yard sale and then one estate sale. And so I spent a total of $58. I did really good. There are a couple of bangers, which I always love. And there was a Coach purse that I think I have managed to save, which is low-key one of my favorite things to do, to save something like that. That is a vintage Coach purse from the landfill. Is fabulous. All right, so I picked up this track phone because when I pulled it out and looked at it super quick, I noticed that the plastic thing was still intact, and so it was new. It had the appearance of being new. It was only $5, so I grabbed it. Upon opening it up, the phone looks new, but the charger is missing. So that was kind of a wah-wah. I still think I'm gonna get like $24 for selling this, 20 to 24. So all is not lost, but a little bit of a disappointment there. But still probably at the end of the day worth picking up. It's not a total loss. Okay. I grabbed this Nike Dry Fit, and honestly, I think I'm gonna throttle back on these because the prices are just really coming down, but it's something that's just so easy to list and it's cheap to ship. And this is in a size large and it is in fabulous condition. But honestly, looking at the comps, I don't see myself getting much more than $12 to $15. And look what happened, because it was so hot, this white stuff melted onto it. Where did that go? I'm covering it with my hand, I'm sure. And so, yeah, there it is. I should be able to get it off with a little bit of elbow grease and some alcohol on a either a cotton ball or a Q-tip, but still probably not something I'm going to continue picking up just because it seems like the resale value is just going down, down, down. Now, I grabbed these because they are vintage. These are only $2. They are vintage Tommy Hilfiger men's large jammy bottoms. So these are like, at first I thought they were terry cloth, but they're not. Probably just like fleecy material, although they're not really, really heavy. I liked them because of all of those Tommy Hilfiger flags, but the comps don't look to be fabulous. So maybe $15. And then this is the last clothing item that I picked up. I paid $5 for this, and honestly, I thought this was only going to be $2 because anything that was not in the garage hanging up was supposed to be $2 an item. And then she started arguing with me. She's like, this was hanging in the garage. I'm like, ma'am, it was not. There were a ton of coats that were hanging in the upstairs closet. And that's why I thought it was $2. And there was a lady next to me and she goes, I saw that coat hanging in the upstairs closet, because the lady was telling me it wasn't. I'm like, I don't do that. I don't move things. Although, to be fair, I'm sure she gets ripped off plenty of times. So she gave it to me for $5, which is still better than 20. I like Neon Buddha. They tend to move. This is a size extra large. It's in fabulous condition. I mean, if it was worn like once or twice. And I just liked all of the things. I liked the little shawl feature around the collar, and I thought it was really, really cute. I've moved these things before. I've also had them that have sat around for forever, but you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. All right. I picked this up. Oh, okay. I was at 1 yard sale and 2 estate sales, and this was the only thing I picked up at that second estate sale. And it was $15 because it was the first day of the estate sale, but oh wait, where's the doohickey? There. How cute is that? It's a 2-piece little thing. It has got its trademark on there. I'm not going to peel those stickers off right now, but it is from 2001. It is called K. Pateris. I mean, look at how cute. It even blinks. I found a sold comp with the box for $50. So I think this is probably going to go around the $25 to $30 mark. I am on the fence as to whether I'm selling it. I do have a little bit of a Hummel collection myself, and I kind of like this. I don't know. It just has a lot of details that are so cute. Look at that little frog down there. And then there's all this stuff on the side, and of course the light is in its favor. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably still going to list it probably around the $28, $30 range. All right, I got 4 pair of shoes. The first 3 pair I'm going to show you came from the first yard sale that I went to. and they were all $3 a pair, which I thought was fabulous. This is a pair of new without the box Beezies in a size, oh, the size isn't on there. I'm gonna say it's like a 10. Yeah, 10 medium. Brand spanking new without the box. I mean, the bottoms are completely immaculate, cute. I thought these were loafers, and then turns out it's like a peep toe. But I still think that counts as a loafer. It's not a sandal. I found a sold pair of these that sold for $85, but that's crap. I mean, there's no way. There's no way. So I'm estimating 20 to 25 on these. Okay, these were also $3. Hello, Sorels. Look at that. I mean, these are the cutest little leather wedge booties. Brand spanking new in a size 10 as well. Really, really good condition. There's one little issue, but I just noted it, that it has these like little spots right here. Other than that, they're perfect. Super, super cute. I grabbed these. I got the estate sale. Where's the other one? She charged me $10 for these. I probably should have put them back. I was really, really on the fence. But two things. Piccolinos, which is a brand that I love to sell, which has a relatively high sell-through cost or sell-through price. They sell high, okay? And also Gladiator with a stacked heel. I do like a Gladiator look. So I did throw them in there. They're probably not going to go much higher than $24 to $30. So $10 was definitely too high to pay, but there's not a lot listed. A couple of pairs sold, but not a lot listed. They don't have too much wear on the bottom, and they have this really cute stacked heel. So for all those reasons, I kept them. Had I given myself time to think and it wasn't just at checkout, I definitely would have probably put them back, but I was under the gun because you saw me looking at that Santa. So that, and I can't remember what he's called, but I have sold that dancing and singing Santa 2 or 3 times before. But every time that I have sold him, he's come with a box. And I've only paid between $1 and $5 for him. Now he sells pretty high and pretty fast. He's a really popular vintage Christmas item, but he wanted $30 for it, and it didn't even have the box. And I did think about going back today to get it because today's the half price day, but then even 15, I'm like, meh, I don't think I'm gonna be hot footing it back there because it was like a good 20-minute drive. All right, I got another pair of Teos. I got a pair of these last week as well. Whoops. These are a really pretty, kind of like pewtery metallic sandal, strappy sandal, and they are also brand new without the box, also in a size 10. The last 2 items in this haul were my absolute best pickups yet. My favorite pickup was this Marc Jacobs. This is a Y2K vintage Marc Jacobs, I forget what it's called, turn lock, totally turn lock, messenger bag slash crossbody, also a satchel. This thing I found at the bottom of a box, hidden away upstairs. In fact, she questioned me on it when I was checking out, and she's like, that was on the table and that had a tag on it. I'm like, no girl, no. Look at the leather. This was balled up in the bottom of the box. It was underneath the Tommy Hilfiger pajama bottoms. And so she's like, well, $10 then. She would have absolutely priced this at like $80. So I got such a deal. In fact, the lady next to me said, wow, Marc Jacobs for $10, go you. And when I got it home and looked inside, it has the original dust bag. So yay me. But look at the interior. Sparkling. There's a few like dust particles and stuff, so she must have used it once or twice, but that is it. There is not a single ink stain, nothing. This sucker is in such good condition. I think conservatively I'm gonna get $130 for this, and I could potentially get higher. I found one that was not in as good condition as this, and it sold for $199. So I was super stoked with this. And y'all, this is the softest leather and just in such great condition. At one point I was like, oh, there's a white spot on the strap. I thought it was like flaking. No, it was a sticker. It was like a little piece of sticker, and it just came right off. Perfect condition. Okay, so that Coach purse was filthy, but it was also only 10 bucks. It is a vintage style, and it is not a very common style. In fact, I cannot find any, sorry, there's just a lot going on with this purse. I cannot find any that have this little coin purse thingy attached, but look at how clean I got it. And this is only the first pass through. I am going to go through it a second time, but what a huge, huge difference. I could not believe how much cleaner it was. Even as I was just wiping it down, I just used some Oxy and warm water. And I did take a Scrub Daddy and use the Scrub Daddy, and the Oxy that I used was, oh, I'll flash it up there because it was like Safe Whites or something that you can use on whites safely, that I have used a ton of time on coloreds, and it hasn't bleached them or nothing because it is made without bleach. So fabulous. Now I do have to get the rest of the green off, but look at all that brown stuff that was on the interior up by the zipper is all gone. This green stuff, I think this is ink. So I'm just going to take some alcohol on a Q-tip or on a cotton ball, and that should come right out. So I think I should be able to easily get $85 for this purse, potentially more. I have to do a little bit more of a Google Lens search to try to find some sold comps, because I couldn't find anything for this exact style, because I do think this is very unique. And the next thing I'm doing is taking some saddle soap to the strap, because the strap is definitely showing some wear. But I mean, come on, it's a vintage purse. It's gonna show some wear. I'm not gonna lie, I really did think long and hard about keeping this for myself, but honestly, I don't love the change purse thing. So for that reason, I was like, I'll wait. I'm always in the market for a nice vintage leather Coach purse for myself. But so far I haven't come across it, mostly because I troll these estate sales on the last day. All right, guys, that is everything for this Thrift With Me video. As always, hit subscribe if you like thrifting content. I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.